He had always been fascinated by the house in the woods. He had seen it from afar, a dark silhouette against the green canopy, its windows glowing with an orange light. He had heard stories about it, stories of ghosts and curses, of madness and murder. He had always wanted to see it for himself, to explore its secrets, to uncover its mysteries. He finally got his chance when he inherited the house from his uncle, who had died under mysterious circumstances. He packed his bags and drove to the remote location, eager to start his new life. He arrived at night, and the house looked even more ominous than he had imagined. He felt a shiver run down his spine as he approached the door, but he shrugged it off and entered. The house was old and dusty, full of cobwebs and creaking floorboards. He found a fireplace in the living room, and lit a fire to warm himself. He looked around and saw a portrait of his uncle hanging on the wall, staring at him with a stern expression. He felt a pang of guilt, as he had never met his uncle, nor cared much about him. He wondered what had happened to him, and why he had left him the house. He decided to explore the rest of the house, hoping to find some clues. He went upstairs, and found a long corridor with several doors. He opened the first one, and saw a bedroom with a large bed and a wardrobe. He opened the wardrobe, and saw a collection of old clothes and a suitcase. He opened the suitcase, and saw a pile of papers and a revolver. He picked up the papers, and saw that they were letters, written by his uncle to someone named Alice. He read the first letter, and felt a shock. It was dated 10 years ago, and it said, "Dear Alice, I hope this letter finds you well. I miss you terribly, and I can't wait to see you again. I'm sorry I had to leave you so suddenly, but I had no choice. I had to come to this house, to fulfill my destiny. You see, this house belongs to my family, and it has a dark history. It was built by my great-grandfather, who was a mad scientist. He conducted horrible experiments here, trying to create life from death. He used human and animal corpses, and stitched them together with wires and machines. He called his creations, the children of the night, and he treated them as his own. But his experiments went wrong, and his creations turned against him. They killed him and his wife, and then escaped into the woods. They still roam there, hunting for prey. They are the reason why people avoid this place, and why they call it the House of Horrors. But my great-grandfather left behind a legacy, a secret that only I know. He had a son, who survived the massacre, and who inherited his genius and his madness. He continued his father's work, and improved it. He created a new kind of life, a life that was not bound by flesh and blood, but by electricity and metal. He called it, the spark of life, and he hid it in the basement of the house. He died before he could finish his masterpiece, and he passed on his secret to his son, who was my father. He also tried to complete the work, but he failed. He died of a mysterious illness, and he left me the house and the secret. And now, I am the last of the line, and the only one who can finish the work. I have to do it, Alice, I have to. It is my duty, my destiny, my obsession. I have to make my family proud, and prove them right. I know you don't understand, Alice, and I don't blame you. You are a normal woman, with a normal life. But I love you, Alice, and I want you to be a part of it. I want you to share my glory, and my life. I want you to be my wife, and the mother of my children. I want you to come to this house, and join me in my quest. Please, Alice, please. Say yes, and I will send a car for you. I await your answer, with love. Edward.